Okay, hopefully the Alpha Team OpenSim environment has finished rendering for you. Before we go ahead and march forward, let's just take a look at the environment and look ahead at some of the menu items we have on our screen now. The primary focus of the Alpha Team tutorial is basically to teach you how to perform basic navigation within the world, attend the presentations. We're not going to touch on any avatar modifications or creation of new objects within this world. The first thing you'll notice once I've logged in is it looks very dark. Well, this is because the OpenSim server attempts to simulate the current hour. So if it's an evening hour on the server will render the world to mimic that. So because it's a little dark for me, I'm going to go ahead and utilize the top toolbar here. And what we're going to be concerned with here is this drop-down bar menu item called World. And under World, we're going to see that there's an item for environment settings. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to midday. This gives me the best visibility. The first thing you're going to see in front of us is two buildings. One is labeled Building A and one is labeled Building B. These represent two separate presentation areas within the Alpha Team virtual world, and both of these presentation areas can be used simultaneously. As far as movement within the world, you'll see that I am represented by this animated character here, which is called an avatar within Second Life. And to get around, I basically have to move this avatar. We can move this avatar using the arrow keys on your keyboard. So if we use the up arrow key, you'll see my avatar begins to walk forward. If I use the down arrow key, my avatar walks backwards. Likewise, left arrow key left, right arrow key right. Another alternative to using the arrow keys is we can actually use the movement control panel. To get to that control panel, we're going to go up here to the top menu and use the view. The view drop down will have an item called movement controls. So I can use these controls to move my avatar around, to spin my avatar, instead of using the arrow keys. So that's another alternative. I'm going to close that. One interesting thing you'll notice within Second Life is that my vantage point is from the back of my avatar. We call this the camera angle, and we can actually adjust this camera angle. To do this, we're going to utilize what we call the camera controls. And once again, we'll find these under the view drop down. And you'll see that there's a thing called camera controls. And what we can do with the camera controls is I can actually pan the camera around and I can look at my avatar from a different vantage point. And what we'll notice is that when we attend presentations, that this item, this control panel will come in very handy so that we can actually seat our avatar at the presentation but actually zoom in better on the actual presentation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. And if I just go ahead and begin moving my avatar again, the camera angle will revert back to looking behind my avatar. So we see that we can walk around this virtual world, but another neat thing we can do is fly, and we'll find that option down at the bottom. If we click the fly button, our avatar actually levitates, and we can once again use the arrow keys for movement. But the nice thing is we can now move very quickly within the world as opposed to walking. So to go ahead and land, I'll just use the stop flying button. Okay. So the next thing we want to look at is communication. How do we actually communicate with other avatars, other people that are logged in? We'll see at the bottom of our screen is that we have this little thing that looks like a balloon. And if we click on this, we'll actually show our local chat bar. Okay. In here, we can type to other local avatars. And as you see, when I type, my avatar will actually make a gesture, and you'll see my chat appear on the screen. This chat will actually disappear within a few seconds, and so if we actually want to keep the chat up on the screen, we'll actually look down at the bottom here and we'll see that there's a button called communication. And if we click that, you'll see that we'll have two tabs here. The first is our contact tabs. If you meet another avatar within the world, you can actually exchange contacts. And those people, they're kind of like friends. They'll show up in your list. And when these people log in and out, you'll actually have a pop-up that will notify you of that. What we're concerned with here is our local chat. So if I bring up my local chat box, it makes it a lot easier when there are multiple avatars chatting because we can actually maintain the chat.